There was a time when I had a thriving social life. Lunches with friends, weekend game nights, even the occasional out-of-town trip. I used to text my best friend to make plans. Now, I get the text reminders from my doctor's office telling me it's time for my next appointment. Dr. Patterson and I go way back, at least 6 months, which is longer than my last book club lasted. I see him so often that when I walk into his office, the receptionist greets me by name and asks if I want the usual. And this is not at a coffee shop. This is at a medical office. Last week, I casually mentioned that my knee was bothering me, and before I knew it, I had 3 new appointments, a referral to a specialist, and a follow-up schedule just to be safe. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Patterson had a punch card program. 10 visits and your next blood pressure check is free. I used to spend time catching up with old friends over coffee. Now I catch up with Dr. Patterson over lab results. My friend Carol doesn't know my cholesterol levels, but Dr. Patterson does. My neighbor hasn't seen me in weeks, but Dr. Patterson knows my exact weight and bone density. My own children don't ask how I'm feeling as often as this man does. It's not just the frequency of the visits, it's the intensity. He knows more about my body than I do. I go for a minor issue and suddenly it's an investigation. A conversation with him goes something like this. So, what brings you in today? Just a little stiffness in my shoulder. All right, let's run some blood work, an MRI, and while you're here, how's your kidney function? Excuse me? I came in because I couldn't reach the top shelf, not because I thought my internal organs were failing. The turning point was last month when I walked into the exam room and he greeted me before even looking at the chart. I was so flattered and horrified at the same time. I have relatives who don't recognize me that fast. And let's talk about the waiting room. I spend so much time there, I'm starting to recognize the other regulars. We exchange knowing glances, like veterans of an ongoing battle against high blood pressure. We all understand that the magazine selection never changes. The thermostat is permanently set to Arctic tundra, and the nurse will call our names the moment we finally open a book. A few days ago, I called my friend Marge and said, "We should get together." She said, "Great, when are you free?" And that's when it hit me. I had to check my doctor's schedule first. At this rate, I should just start forwarding my mail to the waiting room. If Dr. Patterson invites me to his Christmas party this year, I'll be forced to bring a fruitcake and officially accept him as part of the family.